Good morning, guys. I hope you had a lovely sleep. It is Friday. We all made it through the week, and it is 10 after 6 in the morning. But I just got back from a run, and let me adjust my camera a little bit. So, about my camera, it's not the right time for me to buy a camera, and I told you my phone camera was garbage. So, I decided the best option was for me to upgrade my phone and get a phone with a better camera. So, that is what I've done. So if you've noticed some difference with my camera in the last 24 hours, it's because of that. And I also didn't post a lot yesterday because I was in between phones and I was having a lot of trouble like transferring my data, which I wasn't able to completely do. So I lost all my contacts. I've lost so much information. But at the end of the day, I've got a better camera and I've upgraded my phone, and that was the best decision right now instead of going out and buying the camera that I actually want to buy, which I'll do soon, but just not quite yet. Anyways, so this is the video where I was going to do a live about the other night. So this is about rebranding yourself, but I was gonna do a rebranding yourself and how you can use that to recreate your identity. That would be a huge video and a lot of information, so I'm gonna break it up. So this video today is specifically gonna be about rebranding yourself, and it's a lot of information. It's high level, and I've realized that I write my notes down the way I think and not the way I need to explain things. So I need to do better at that because I write very high level notes and then sometimes I'll read them off and probably half the people are sitting there saying, what the hell is she talking about? This girl's fucking crazy. So I need to be more clear in how I'm writing and write more, the way I would speak, the way I'm speaking to everybody. So, everyone can understand and not think I'm fucking nuts. So there we go. So let's talk about branding. So the very first thing you need to do and first of all, I'm not talking about just branding for social media, but I will discuss it in here. Branding for social media is something key that you have to do if you want to be successful, of course. It's something I'm learning about currently and something I'm trying to incorporate into my social media, which means I have to do an overhaul of like my Instagram, all of my social media, not just like my YouTube stuff, but which I'm working on. And you guys can see it, those who followed me, there's been a difference in my videos. But so from like a year and a half ago till now. But I'm talking about the branding that's really going to benefit you in life, like your personal branding that you socialize with, that you are displaying and exhibiting in your behaviors and your actions and in your work professionally and personally, with your friendships, your relationships, with all of your communications with people. This is what you want people to think of when they think of you, and when they associate you, you want them to associate you with these ideas. So in order to create these ideas, the list and then the things we're going to discuss today is what you need to do to develop that. And those ideas are more your personal identity, what they'll associate you with. But to develop that, you need to have a good, strong brand. And this is how you develop and pursue developing a really good, strong brand. I'm sorry I haven't made my bed. You probably can't see it, but I have the tiniest little chicken here having a sleep. He's very cute, very little, less than 5 pounds, but I don't have it in my heart to move him so I can make my bed. So it's a bit messy. Anyway, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to define your purpose. So why are you creating this brand and rebranding and wanting to re-identify yourself? Is it for social media purposes? You got to clarify your goals, what you want to achieve personally and professionally, and establish a clear vision of your future and the impact you want to make. So this is where manifesting comes in. This is where really idealizing and visualizing what you want and what you want the outcome to look like, what you want your identity and your personal brand to look like once you've accomplished doing this, and even throughout the process of doing this. Okay, so you really need to be clear with it and what you want that to look like. What do you want people to think of when they think of you? What do you want to present yourself every day? What kind of person are you? Are you a business person? Is that your brand? Are you super professional and multitasking and hardworking and maybe an overachiever? Are you like a gym girly? Are you a girl that you're very consumed with personal health and fitness and you eat super well and this and that? Are you like super into fashion? Is that your brand? Like you're always like top of the line, looking 100%. For me, I like, for me personally, I like to incorporate all of it. Like, I want to be the best at everything. And I know it's unachievable, but this is what I strive for. Like, I want to be everything. And it's something that when I feel like I'm not accomplishing that, I'm really hard on myself. But you've got to be able to define exactly what you want. And if you want everything like me, you want to do it all, then fuck, do it all. You can do it. Anyway, it just might take some time. Like it's taking me. It's a process. I'm working on it. So here we go. You want to define your target audience. Is your audience people you want to connect with? Your audience is the people you want to connect with. So tailor your brand messaging to resonate with that specific audience. So is your audience your coworkers? Is it your colleagues in your professional environment? Is it your family? Do you need to rebrand yourself with your family? And like, do they give you a hard time about like who you are, who you identify as, what you represent? Do you want to change that opinion of you? Is it your friends? Do you want to have a different social group? Do you want to be perceived differently by your social circle? Is it with your neighbors and your community? Like you have to define your audience, and that will help you define how and what your priorities are going to be in achieving and changing your personal brand based on your audience, because whoever your target audience is where you're going to start and where you're going to put your most priority on demonstrating your new brand, and that's where you're going to begin. Okay, so this is super important. And every company does this, every organization does this, everyone does this when they're developing their values and their mission statement and all this sort of stuff. You need to develop your unique value proposition. So what sets you apart from others? This is a lot of self-reflection and shadow work. What makes you unique? You need to be able to communicate your skills, your expertise, and your personality in a way that distinguishes you from others. So really, really reflect on what makes you different. I said this in my last video. Everyone, you're the best. You are the best at some things. You're better than everybody else. And there are people that are better than you at other things, right? So you need to determine what you're the best at and what your strengths are and what makes you different than everybody else. Like for me professionally, my strength is clinical knowledge. Like I know my stuff. And if I find an area where I don't understand something or I'm not 100% clear, like I'm on it. I take a course. I spend my whole weekend in that course and I will upgrade my skills so I know the most. So whenever a meeting comes up or a topic comes up and we're talking about a patient, I know everything. And everything I contribute, I see people get on their phones and pull up Google to see if I'm right. And I'm always right because I wouldn't open my mouth if I wasn't. That's part of my brand, is that I make sure that everything I say is accurate or I don't say it. I'd rather shut my mouth and have nothing to say than to say something and be wrong, because that's going to devalue everything I say going forward. So that's part of my brand, that people can count on what I say academically and professionally and medically. They're going to know that what my recommendations are, my assessments are going to be accurate and they're going to be right. And my recommendations are going to be right. And we might have disagreements. We might have different opposing views, but we'll discuss those. And I find with healthcare professionals, when healthcare professionals argue different opinions, that's when you get the best care for your patients. So I don't mind that at all. I love it. And that's why I say to people, critique my videos, give me a hard time. I had a girl comment and tell me, why are your eyebrows so damn dark? And I looked at it and I'm like, you know what? This is ridiculous. I do my eyebrows dark because I don't have any. And I've been walking around sporting dark hair for a year. So now it's time to, now that I have blonde hair in my head, get out and buy some like blonde eyeliner or eyebrow pencil and do my eyebrows blonde. And she was right. So I did it because it looked ridiculous. So now I have blonde eyebrows. But I got to be honest, guys, it's not going to last. I miss the dark hair and I feel like I'm naturally blonde, but I feel like I look better dark. So I think it's going back. But tell me what you guys think. And especially you guys who watch me all the time, who've seen me both ways, black and dark and light. Let me know what you think is better. So that's your unique value proposition. It's what defines you from others, what sets you apart, what makes you unique. And you have to be able to communicate your skills and expertise, be able to tell people, like, what is your best? The very big owner of my company will stop in the halls and say, what are you better at than everybody else, randomly to people. He'll say, what's your name? What's your position? And what makes you better than all the other healthcare professionals here? And I know exactly what I tell him when he stops me. And he knows me by name because he sees me there sometimes at 5:30, 6 in the morning working. And he's the only other one that's there at that time. But he'll see me but he'll stop and ask you what makes you better. And I can tell him because I know, because I've reflected on it, and I know what makes me not better, what other people are better at than me too. I struggle with setting boundaries. I have to work hard on that. That's something I have to work very hard on, setting boundaries and not being a people pleaser. Those are my weaknesses. I've talked about it before. Those are things I'm constantly trying to improve upon, and I'm working hard on to develop myself because I need to do that if I want my brand to be what I want it to be. Now I want to achieve my goal. So if you're looking for social media, you need a consistent online presence. And even if you're not, you need to keep your LinkedIn up to date if it's a professional purpose, and keep it up to date, keep it very succinct, keep it very high level and academic and well written. You can use Grammarly, you can use whatever you need to. Make sure your grammar is perfect. Make sure your punctuation is perfect. Make sure everything is perfect that you write, because every sentence, every period, every comma is what is going to identify you and identify your brand. Use a consistent profile picture, a username, and a bio to reinforce your personal brand. So use that on your social media. Like, make sure your social media ties in together and presents a unified brand, because a unified presentation of who you are, because that's what a brand is, as opposed to you displaying different aspects of yourself. You want it all to come together and to demonstrate one picture of yourself. And that's something I'm working on right now, because like my Instagram is a lot of family stuff. And like, if I want my Instagram to really demonstrate my personal brand, I need to maybe have a separate family Instagram and have one that I want to use for my social media, and one maybe separate for my professional work environment. So that's something I have to do. I have to do an overhaul on my social media. So content creation, share content related to your expertise and your interests. So my interests are definitely 100% self-development and professional development and personal well-being, whether it be emotional, psychological, mental health, physiological, physical. Like, I want everybody to be the very best they can be, and give you guys tips and tricks and hacks on how to improve in every single area of your life to really level up to the very best you can be. And that is what I base my content creation on now. I found kind of like my niche, and that's really what it is. And it took me a long time to determine that. And make sure you create blog posts, videos, and you contribute to these discussions in your field. So my field, I don't talk so much about my professional and my academic fields. I do include it a little bit here and there. You'll get tips and stuff, but that's not what my social media and my YouTube is about. My YouTube is really about everybody becoming their very best self, because, like, honestly, what I do professionally isn't going to benefit everybody. But what I can share with you from what I've learned from what I do professionally and my personal life and the experiences I've been through, like, you guys have no idea. And one day I'll get into it, but I haven't been able to yet because I've thought my ways around it, and I can't do that without breaking the confidentiality of other people. But one day I'll figure out a way, and I'll share with you guys some of my life story. So, because it's quite fucking shocking, to be honest. But anyways, make sure that your content creation is unified and you are discussing things that are related to what you want your brand to be. So networking, build and maintain relationships within your professional industry. If your brand is social media based, make sure it's in your social industry. Look for social events. Look for social events in your cities and your communities. Make sure you get in there, join in, and make sure your face and your name is shared with as many people as possible. Engage in online communities to expand your network. Professional development, continuously improve and update your skills to stay relevant in your field. Showcase your expertise through your certifications, courses, and achievements. So even if you don't have a degree, I don't care what you do for a living. If you work in construction, take free weekend courses on Coursera or on skills, on teamwork, on managing and leading groups, on teams, on all of these different things, and just start adding, building and building. Every time you finish a course, even if it's a 4-hour course, a 5-hour course, print up that certificate, fax it in, email it into your HR, keep a file of it, start building up a file on yourself, call it your brag file, and start saving stuff. Anytime someone writes you a letter of recommendation, anything like that, start saving it. Make sure you have all this stuff on hand. And every time you take a course, like I'm serious, there are free courses everywhere. You'll get certifications from them and legitimate certificates from highly recognized academic institutions. You can get them for free. Try Coursera. Coursera is not free, I don't think. I think it's Skilltrade, is it? Skilltrade isn't free, but I do use it. Google Courses, like some of them you have to pay a little bit for, but a lot of them are free. I just took some medical professional ones through a place called West Point. It's online. They were free online. If you're a healthcare provider, Sick Kids offers free education for doctors, residents, students. If you're nursing can do it too. There's all types of different professional education out there. Just start searching for it and find it and search for course with certification attached or course with certificate, free course with certificate, and you'll get certificates and start sending them in and building up your credentials, because that gives you personal value. It not only shows your knowledge and your expertise, but it also shows your affinity for education and for learning and for personal development, which is even more important than each expertise, because anyone can acquire knowledge, but not everybody is looking to acquire knowledge, and that's a unique skill on its own. So authenticity, be genuine and be authentic to your interactions. Share your journey, experiences, and challenges to connect more on a personal level. I guess kind of like I do. I tell you guys honestly, where my weaknesses are, my boundary issues, my issues with being able to what my strengths are. You guys know what that is. I've told you. And my issues with creating strong boundaries and not being a people pleaser. I've shared that with you guys, so you know me a little bit. I'm creating a personal relationship where you know who I am and you know where I'm working on my self-development. I've told you I need to work on my social media. That's not a strength for me. I need to improve upon that in those areas and really spend some time and effort in making sure they're all unified and they work together to portray a brand that is ideal, and which is one that I want to demonstrate and portray to anybody that's watching my videos. So your personal branding statement, very important. Craft a concise and compelling personal branding statement that encapsulates who you are and what you have to offer. Build a visual identity. Choose a consistent color scheme, fonts, and design elements for your personal brand. Apply those images to your resume, your business card, and your social media profiles. I've seen all successful YouTubers and people in social media do this. All of their stuff has an undertone. I can recognize just by a thumbnail without even reading it and looking at the picture who that's going to be. And that's because they've developed a personal brand that's very identifiable and recognizable. And that's something I've got to work on too. And the personal branding statement, it's like every company does. They hang it on their wall inside their front door. It's your mission, your values, your goals. It's your vision statement. And your personal branding statement is the same thing. And the last point I'm going to make, number 11, is monitor and adjust. Regularly assess the effectiveness of your brand. Adjust the strategies based on feedback and changes in your goals. So if someone's saying, your social media and everything is too much the same, it looks boring, it's not interesting. No one wants to go from your Instagram to your TikTok to your YouTube. You post the same things on TikTok that you do on YouTube, for instance. It's boring. It's the same videos. Make sure that you take that feedback and you adjust. So maybe I'll post different content on TikTok than I will on my YouTube if my goal is to pursue a personal brand and level up my social media. Maybe that's something I need to do. So guys, I'm going to cut it off here. I don't want to make it too long. That is my tips on creating a personal brand. I think they're well thought out, and I think they're all valuable and they're really useful. And I developed them based on they're evidence-based, and they're on how companies develop their personal brand. I looked at how large corporations develop the ones that have the strongest personal branding and recognizable branding, and how they developed it and the steps they took into developing it. And I applied that to us personally and how we would use it socially, social media wise, personally and professionally, and I think it applies. So I hope this has been useful. I hope it's valuable, guys. If you like my videos, please do subscribe. If you watch till the end, thank you so much. This is a 20-minute video. That's not easy to do. And if you found the information valuable, but it is a lot, save this video, go back to it and watch it in pieces. Like, take it a piece at a time and work on a step at a time. These aren't all things you can do at once. I'm learning that because I'm doing this right now and I'm working through it, and it's a bit at a time. So everybody have a kick-ass Friday. Like, kill it today and like make your week go out with a bang. If you do the most amazing job today, then your week was super successful, and you could do that in just one day. You can like work your ass off today and have the best week you've had all month. So make that your day. And I hope everyone has a fabulous one. And I hope to see some new subscribers. And I hope you guys keep returning to my channel, the ones who have subscribed, and enjoying my videos and learning something from it. I hope they're beneficial. Give me some feedback. Give me some criticism. I love it. I respond to everybody. And thank you so much for all your time and your comments, guys. Have a lovely day. See you soon.